Okay, last example here, number 8. Okay, it is 3 cosecant of x plus pi over 2. So we're back to sine, cosine, secant, and cosecant graphs. So we're going to follow that checklist. So when we start off on this one, first thing we're going to do is find the period length, just like always. Okay, we've got our graph. We can put our 4 hash marks, but we need to know what to label them. We always start off with a period length of 2 pi. There's nothing in front of my x, so this one's 2 pi, pi over 2, and 3 pi over 2. Once I've done that, then I'm doing vertical shift. So I would look at the end of my problem here, see if there's anything added on. There's not, so my graph is right down the middle. The midline is right here, just like it was. Okay, it hasn't changed. Next thing I will do is the amplitude. Since there's a 3 in front, that means I'm going up 3 to 3 and going down 3 to negative 3. Okay? Next step, when we look at this problem, we want to do our horizontal shift. So when we look at this, because there's something added or subtracted in the parentheses, I'm going to have one. Since it's plus pi over 2, that is going to take me to the left, pi over 2. When it's cosecant, it's really like I'm graphing sine. So I'm going to go left pi over 2. So I'm going to make this negative pi over 2. And if I'm graphing sine, got to think about what sine would do. Sine means we start with a point in the middle of our graph. So right here in the middle of our graph, we are going to have a point. So right there, there's a point. Now we're graphing. So there's our point in our center. Next one, it's a sine graph. So next one's going to be at the top. At the next hash mark, we're back to the middle. Next one at the bottom. Next one back in the middle again. Let's make our sine curve. Connect the dots, go through, boom, 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 boom. There's my graph. That's how I would have graphed sine, but it's asking me not to graph sine, but instead to graph cosecant. So the way I change a sine to a cosecant graph is I need to add 2 things. First thing I'm going to do is add our asymptote lines. Anywhere I cross the x-axis, so there I cross the x-axis, or I'm sorry, not the x-axis, we want to say the midline, and this one it happens to be the x-axis. So right there, and right there. When I graph, those 3 places are going to be asymptote lines. So 1, 2, and 3. Those are my 3 asymptotes. Okay, the other thing I want to add is the parabolas. So we look inside the 2 asymptote lines and we think, okay, what is this shape that's going on here? It is a downward parabola. I'm going to do the reciprocal of that. So right here, I'm going to have an upward parabola. So right in there, I'm going to draw a parabola that starts at that point and goes up. That blue parabola there. Do the same thing here. And between these 2 asymptote lines, I have a parabola shape going up. So I'm doing the reciprocal of that. So I'm going to draw a parabola going down. There we go. That is 3. That's my amplitude. Cosecant x plus pi over 2. That takes me to the left with a 0 vertical shift. There's our graph. Cosecant.